Today's video is a little bit different. It's not a hill walk for the miners list, it's not a particular glamorous walk in South Wales, it's just a random little lay-by, and I walked it a couple of weekends ago and the weather was terrible, so there was zero views. So I thought I'd come back on a nice day, and today is a glorious day, and I would just do a short video of the walk because I'm going to do it as a trackable website anyway. So it's a slightly different route today, and we're going to head up to quite a big hill, and it's just a really glorious place. So I figured I may as well make a little video rather than just a normal photo walk. As you can see, it's a really beautiful valley we're walking up through, so very gentle path, very gentle descent, beautiful old trees. I love this stream running down the middle as well. Around 1.8 miles, and we're approaching 700 feet of ascent, but it's been a very gentle descent most of the way. It's getting a little bit steeper now, but still perfectly manageable. As you can maybe see in the background, we're approaching the top of the valley now, so it's going to level out. And then we've got a choice. There's footpaths that crisscross the head of this little valley, so we're going to take a right. We're going to go that way and pick up a footpath there and head up to the 491 metre high point, and then we're going to probably come down a different loop and come back a different way. So a very good walk so far, really easy walking. It's the main trail all the way up, so extremely pleasant and easy walking, and extremely peaceful as well. Just the bird song and the stream now has died down to an absolute trickle at the top here, so it really has gone very quiet. Now we're going to head up over there and pick up a footpath that definitely exists at the start because I've walked a tiny bit of it, but how far that will take us and whether the footpath to the hill actually exists or not, we'll find out. But the views now are going to start opening up because we're going to get out of the valley and see the wider aspects of this part of South Wales, and you should be able to see the central Bannerbeck Enog today as well, the central Brecon Beacon Mountains. It's a beautiful day for it, it's a beautiful sky. Up the little footpath that's heading almost directly north towards the summit of the hill, so extremely easy to follow, you can't miss it, and seems to be pretty decent so far. We're going to head through the clearing in the woodland, and the views into different valleys now have really opened up. We've just broken through the little clearing in the trees, and you can see now we've really opened up the views up the valleys, and it's just classic, beautiful South Wales valleys really. Haven't seen a soul up here, been completely alone. Those dirt bikes went off somewhere else as well, so it's just, with the shout of the trees here, incredibly still and quiet. Just the bird song and the sound of the road in the distance, and the sun dappling across the valley's hills. Yeah, what a fabulous walk, and again, why a lot of my videos are kind of a love letter to the valleys really. The peace, the beauty, and just the ruggedness, the fact they don't feel very explored either. So we're going to potter on now and get to the top of this hill. I've no idea what it's like, but the view should be good. So let's hopefully there's some kind of path up there. So the true summit of 491 metres is somewhere in amongst all that dense heather. Now we're not going to bother disturbing any of the wildlife and traipsing the pathway for it, but you can see we're not too far off the 491 metres. The views are huge right down the South Wales Valley in that direction. You can see a load of different hills, Mynwent Macen, Tumbalum, and you can just about see the Bristol Channel in the distance, and sweeping right away across all the different hills and valleys. Amazing views for absolutely miles today. And right up there, Pennyvan, Corndee, Cribin, the central Bannockburn Ceiniog Mountains, and then the extensive moorlands beneath that, Mynwent Clangattock, and then north of here is Mynwent Cefn, which I believe from memory is 550 metres. So this really wide pathway would take you all the way up to there, and obviously we've already had views across that way east to the Black Mountains and other valleys in a different direction. Well, we're heading south now to make this a true circular walk. We're walking back down from the plateau, a completely different way. We're not going to have any overlap from the walk up, so it's going to be a very, very nice, easy loop back to the car now. I've done this a little bit before, but obviously I had no views at all that time, which is why I didn't bother walking up any further to the hill. The views now looking south are really, really beautiful. The South Wales valleys are actually quite craggy and steep-sided in places, a lot more dramatic than you perhaps think when you're just driving around them. So when you get up to a nice plateau like this and you're looking south, you can really appreciate that. Now, obviously this is a bank holiday weekend this weekend. I'm sure the Brecon Beacons are very, very busy. The weather is glorious, the sky is lovely, great conditions for hiking, and I've not seen a soul. So again, it's one of the reasons why I do recommend trying some of the different walks in South Wales like this, because I've driven past this place hundreds of times, never parked up, never walked anywhere around here, and I've really been missing out because the views are great And what's even better about this particular location is that the footpaths that are marked on OS maps actually do exist. So I've been able to walk around here twice now without running into any issues whatsoever. And there's been loads and loads more footpaths that you could explore and different routes that you could take. So far we've done just over 4 miles and just over 1,100 feet of ascent, so just over half a mountain's worth of ascent, just over 300 metres. But as I said earlier, it's been very gentle and gradual, most of it, so I wouldn't let that put you off this walk. It is a really good walk, and there's plenty of places where you can stop and rest on the way up as well. Just take a little sit mat and you would sit in lots of different places to take in the views and have a drink and rest. When I was doing a bit of reading up on the hill itself, I discovered that there's just recently, in the last few weeks, been planning permission granted for a fairly substantial wind farm. From memory, I think it's about 8 wind turbines. So that is going to obviously have a dramatic impact on the landscape here in the plateau. So if they put in infrastructure and roads, and they may well try to seal off different parts of it. Although where the area we are now is a common, so it's open access land. So hopefully, although they might put some infrastructure and some turbines, you should still be able to access the hill pretty well. We're going to continue south now, and we're going to encounter quite a few ponds with wildlife and geese and all sorts, which you don't necessarily expect being this high up. But yeah, it's a really, really great walk, and it has been torrential rain the last few days, and it's been raining pretty much all winter. So the fact that today has been so accessible, the tracks have all been absolutely fine, no problem at all, means that this is definitely an all year round walk. And the good thing is that the road leading up to it is a fairly decent road. So if there was snow on the valleys in winter time, you should be able to drive up to this parking spot pretty easily. And then you get up to here, you're nearly 500 metres, should be plenty of snow about for a nice winter's walk. And I doubt you would see very many people at all up here. So we'll just continue heading back now. Enjoy the last bit of this plateau before we start dipping down into a different kind of track. It's going to take us through various bits of farmland and head back down to a nice bit of forestry. So to give you a bit of an idea of where we are now, looking directly ahead, the land goes down to the top of the valley which we walked up, and we went right, and if you see there should be a wall over there and a couple of trees nicely spaced out along. We walked up past those trees to the edge of that ridgeway, and we walked along the side of that forest, through that little forest and up to the top of the hill, and then we've come around in a circle and come back down this track, and then we're going to head south, so on the top of the opposite ridgeway where we came up through the bottom of the valley. So a very nice circular walk, and as you can still see, plenty of really nice views. Well, we've passed through a significant amount of farmland and a bit of a kind of industrial track. Still on the marked footpath though, so all the gates are either stiles or they've got proper openings, so it's perfectly easy to get by. And we're now dropping back into the forest where we started the walk. Now this steep and stony track is very easy to follow and takes you right back to the entrance of the car park where you could have taken this track up. Instead, we took a different fork and came up a very gentle, long ascent. This is much shorter and sharper. As ever with all these tracks, you'll find them on my website, thewalkingkev.co.uk. Link is always in the description, and I'll probably put a link in the comment section to this particular walk, so I always share the full GPX route via Outdoor Active, and you can see then all the stats of the track, so the ascent, descent, time it took me, average speed, all that kind of stuff, so you can see if it's something you want to do, and obviously you'll see exactly where I've parked then as well. Well, we're not far from the car now, so all I'm doing is walking down this steep track. It's all pretty self-explanatory, so I'll end the video here. If you made it this far, a huge thanks for watching as always. If you do live in South Wales, you want to do the track, obviously, feel free to check out the website. I do try and capture as many views and as much of the kind of atmosphere as I possibly can, but nothing's ever going to compare to actually getting up and doing the walk yourself. This one here is a really, really good one. So yeah, big thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.